She looks like an auntie. Why was she chosen? This is embarrassing. How about we start with why seeing a dark-skinned plus-size black woman in a love scene with someone considered mainstream attractive bother you so much?
Yes, I saw Annie and thought that was Big Mama.
Cut all of that. The reason why y'all thought that she was their mom off of first glance just looking at her is because she's a larger, darker-skinned black woman.
I've been seeing comment after comment of people thinking it was incest and being like, oh, up until they kissed and stuff, they didn't realize what was happening. Or when they kissed, they were like, oh my gosh, she's kissing his mom.
There's something about seeing what we already see in real life on the big screens and on social media that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. The ordinary looking black woman in her natural features have been criticized for a very long time, continuously. And it's women like Wumni Mosaku, Serena Williams, Simone biles that are usually at the center of this sort of discussion.
She just won the Olympics and you guys are talking about her hair.
And for reasons that we're about to get into. So in this movie, Sinners, Wumi plays Michael B. Jordan's love interest. And a lot of people were shocked by this because they initially thought she was the mother or she was the aunt. And honestly, I don't blame them entirely because a lot of times you see a dark-skinned, heavy-set woman in Hollywood, they are not really the love interest. But even that thought process shouldn't have lasted you that long because we're at your context clues as the movie progressed. Before you even reached the romantic scene that everybody was like, oh, this is what... Didn't you see that?
Since the movies come out, we have seen a lot of people saying, well, I thought Annie was his mama or his aunt. And it's really sad because people are turning it into, well, why would you think that? Like, oh, come on, y'all, what's wrong with y'all? It's like, well, that's social programming. This is the product of decades and decades and decades of plus size black women being portrayed only as the mama, only as the auntie, never as a love interest. I don't fully fault people for seeing her as the mom or the aunt before a love interest because that's usually how we're deemed. That's usually how we're seen. Now, you, after a certain point, you're making a choice in how you want to see her because if you listen to the dialogue, you can hear the flirty tension, you can hear and see their chemistry. So it didn't really take long for the audience to recognize that love was there, that wasn't platonic or familial, but romantic. So there are some folks that I'm like, all right, you holding on to that narrative a little bit too long. So I can understand in the first few seconds of seeing Annie and maybe assuming those things, but you watching them talk and interact and you still think, hey, you're on your own with that one. I don't know about that. I picked up quickly that who she was to him. So I can't relate. But it does sadden me that these reactions are indicative of a larger issue, which is the lack of representation in dark-skinned, plus-size black women being loved properly in media and in real life. Let's wake that up. Let's open that can of worms. I feel as though if we saw more dark-skinned, plus-size black women being loved romantically and not just the mom and the auntie, that wouldn't be as quick of a correlation either.
A lot of people are preconditioned not to see fully formed dark-skinned women as love interests in these kind of movies. You know, due to the stereotypes that we have, the stereotypical archetypes that we have, like the mommy, you know, she's nurturing, she's self-sacrificing. And then there's a sapphire, she's angry, combative, emasculating. And this is usually used as a comedic effect or conflict effect. The Jezebel is hypersexual and seductive, and then you have the strong black woman. This one I'm tired. Tyler Perry, Nollywood, we are tired. I'm tired for all of them actually, but this one I'm actually tired of. It also doesn't help that the beauty standard is traditionally Eurocentrically centered, often sidelining natural beauty, you know, skin tone, body types, hair. Those do not fit the mainstream mold. And so mainly we see light-skinned women or women that are closer to model bodies play these lead roles that aren't insufferable.
Can we talk about Annie and Smoke for a second? And that dynamic between them is living rent-free in my mind. And I thought we all agreed it was sexy, right? Anybody with sense would think it was sexy. So imagine my dismay when I come to the internet and see that a lot of you are saying that when you first saw Annie on the screen, you thought that she was Smoke's mom or his aunt. Are we watching the same movie? Because Did you see how she was talking to him? If your mama or your auntie talks to you the way Annie talks to Smoke, you might want to call the police. This is exactly why I cannot stand fat phobia and colorism and racism and futurism, because it makes you stupid. It makes you miss the obvious. Anybody with eyes to see and ears to hear would immediately pick up on their chemistry.
And let me just say this. I'm sick of seeing Michael B. Jordan with this Haley lady pushed all over TikTok. I'm sorry. Hollywood, I mean, we know that's just what y'all do, but it's irritating, baby. He has just as much chemistry with Miss Annie in that movie, just as he did with Lil Mary, Had a Little Lamb. It's so basic, I'm annoyed.
And before anybody gets on Queen Latifah's internet talking about how unrealistic it is that someone like Michael B. Jordan would date a woman like Wunmi or a character like Annie, I need you to understand that despite what white supremacy has taught you, that is a lie. You know how I know it's a lie? Because I've seen your mamas. Can we talk about it? Half of your mothers are a size 14 and up. So while you're pretending that big black bodies are not desirable, your daddies clearly don't agree. Women like Annie getting their cheeks clapped is the reason why half of us are even here. But I get it. In a world full of problematic podcast bros, a lot of you are not going to listen to me making perfectly good sense just because I'm a woman. So how about I play a video of a man saying basically exactly what I just said.
When it came to Michael B. Jordan and Wumni Mosaku, I pray I said her name right. When it came to them on screen, I ain't gonna cap. I ain't understand it. I didn't get the dynamic. I thought she was an auntie. I thought she was a cousin. I even thought she was like an older sister. It wasn't until that scene, you feel what I'm saying, where I was like, that what they got going on. You don't see dark-skinned women. You don't see plus-size women. You don't see women that just got literal natural bodies. Like her body is equivalent to the average person in America. You don't see them bodies playing a lead role. Not with no nigga like Michael B. That shit don't exist. And I know that shit made motherfuckers uncomfortable. Ooh, and I love that shit, nigga. Shout out to Ryan Coogler, bro. This film just validates so many people, man. So many motherfuckers like us. Like us. This movie's for us, man. Go check that shit out.
And before I go, I just want to thank Wumni Mosaku. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. In fact, actually, you know what? Let me say her full name, right? I want to thank Onwumi from the House of Mosaku, first of her name, a thick-snapped truth teller, a sexy soul tie of smoke. Yes, honey. Sis, you are a bold and beautiful embodiment of Black womanhood, and we are honored to speak your name. Thank you so much for bringing Annie to life. And yeah, for those of you who find it hard to believe that a woman who looks like her is worthy of love, please ask yourself, who taught you that?
So I can understand to some extent why some people didn't think she was actually the love interest. But at what point do you become a willing participant in the ignorance? So among these same videos talking about how they thought she was the mommy or the auntie, somebody said, oh, I wish Smoke, who is Michael B. Jordan in this movie, was partnered with somebody like Sammy's partner or love interest. And this was Sammy's love interest. Sammy is another character. This was Sammy's love interest. This is Wumi. These two women are dark-skinned women. So the only difference is that one is a much fully formed woman than the other. So your problem is her weight, not her acting, that she was actually incredible at. It is her weight. Because it also goes on to say, oh, I wish it was a partner that was at the same level as Michael. And I'm like, what does that even mean? And other people want to defend it saying, oh, it's because she's older. She's not. They are literally the same age. But even if that was actually true, that she's older or that she looks older, what does it matter? Because she was incredible at her job. So were the other ones. But what does it matter to you? Unfortunately, weight isn't the only thing that a lot of people are uncomfortable seeing online or social media. Because recently, Serena Williams also posted a video of herself singing along to Beyonce's I woke up like this, I woke up like that. Flawless. And she was in bed. She just woke up, clearly feeling happy about herself because, you know, who wouldn't? You are Serena. But the comment section was filled with so much negativity. You would think we're watching two separate videos. Halloween isn't back for a few months. You look like Richard, which God forbid a girl looks like her own father. And you're laughing because you know what you meant. It wasn't just you resemble your father, it was you look like a man. Which your friends had the audacity to say, the wiring of your eyebrows is unique. Translation, it's kinky. Falsy eyebrows. Hair. Flawful. Eye cream does exist. Is this who Drake was with? Somebody said go back to sleep. And yet this is exactly what a lot of women that actually do take care of their skin look like? What is this obsession with wanting people to look exceptionally beautiful? Because a lot of people that we're surrounded by look exactly like these women, on their best days, by the way. Simone Biles is another person that cannot seem to escape this conversation, especially when it comes to her hair. This time she's getting a tattoo on the back of her neck. And now here comes the comments talking about how the back of her neck looks like a McDonald's logo. With her asking, don't you have a barber where you are? If you want to shave off your hair, it's fine. Do it. It is alright, but do not think that it is the standard. All of these women I mentioned are very incredible people, and they're also amazing at their respective work. So if they don't feel like doing something that you think they should have done, leave them alone. It most definitely doesn't take away from your beauty, so what is the problem? And you're constantly crying about representation. Oh, we need more black women. You don't even like the ones that you currently have. If someone is representing exactly what a lot of people you see around look like, but you have a checklist of what you think they should look like, do you really want representation? And the crazy thing is that all of these people leaving these mean comments will be on the other side waiting to criticize these women even more should they decide to do anything about their bodies influenced heavily by these terrible comments. We live in a world where people are getting shamed for bleaching their skin, perming their hair, getting plastic surgery, being on Ozempic, but those are the same things that a lot of these women are being made fun of. And I'm not encouraging any of these things because they're actual threats to our health. I think we've been clear on that on this channel. So that's not what I'm saying at all. But you cannot ignore that this kind of reaction is exactly what pushes people to such ends.
You know the one thing the Sinners movie didn't do? They didn't find any excuses as to why they couldn't represent certain folks. They made it a point to be intentional about people being accounted for. Dark-skinned women and men accounted for. Natural hair accounted for. Girthy, voluptuous bodies accounted for. Which goes to show that when other folks are creating other work, but seemingly act as though they can't find what is necessary to have inclusion. While we already knew this, Sinners has now reassured us that that has always been a lie. That folks are lazy and refuse to do their homework, and that they do not value certain folks being seen and having representation.
Your body ain't forget me. I beg your finest fucking pardon. When we get into supporting cast and who carried, Wumni Mosaku, baby, let me tell you something. Carried. Told the story. I think that representation matters so much, and to see this beautiful chocolate full-figured woman on screen playing the love interest to all y'all's fave Michael B. Jordan, it did something for a lot of black and brown girls, for a lot of aspiring actresses and actors, and for the millions of black women that are going to watch this film and see themselves, their grandmothers, their aunties, their sisters, their cousins in a way that is strong and nurturing and vulnerable and loving and fierce and sexy and fly, all of the things.
Black women, black, heavier set, thicker women, we can be loved deeply, intently, passionately, with purpose, no fetishization. We are deserving of that, and to be able to see that on screen was beautiful to me. I loved it.
It was like how to make you feel safe, you know, and how to make you happy, which is crazy because it's a thing for Smoke, you know, about this movie, you know, and his loved ones, and Smoke and Andy is such a powerful combination and couple that keeping people safe is something that I feel like we're not able to do. You know, I've seen you as a mom, as a wife, as a scene partner, and we've had a lot of conversations, and where we were in our careers and where you were in your career, and how acting can be a place for us to let go and to step outside of our comfort zone and step away from our other life. So for you to step away from your family life, from you know being a new mother and spending your time with us, I just say thank you for sharing that light that you have. I think anybody that knows you feels your heart because you lead with it. Your eyes are kind, your spirit is warm, and anytime anyone's in your presence, they feel safe, and I feel safe. And you push me out of my comfort zone so many times, and I just want to say thank you for sharing that gift with us, and I can't wait for you to share that gift with other people. So continue to go, just go. go out and say that, you don't know this, and I'm not this, and I'm not that, you're fucking everything. You know what I'm saying? I want you to have that leaving us. I want you to walk around with, I am this, and I am that, and because people see that shit, you feel it, you know, you can't articulate it sometimes, but it's a feeling that you bring, and I just wanted to give you that, you know, as you leave the party. I'm sad, I am fucking sad, but I love you, and I'm so happy I met you. I'm so happy Ryan cast you, you know, and you were a part of my life now. So I just want to say thank you, I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael B. Jordan. All right.